I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I'm going to enjoy it. Hey YouTubers, Tim Walling here. I want to take a minute and show you, this is the new Sig P320. This is the X Compact, the X Compact firearm that just came out from Sig. It's a good looking gun, really nice gun. Now, it's got the front cocking serrations on it. It's coming with the night sights on the firearm. The grip module here, this grip module, I have the X5 also, and this grip module is the same width, size, thickness of the X5. The front is cut the same as X5. The trigger looks identical to it when you compare them together. The only difference is this grip module is a little shorter. Your X5 is coming on down here. And of course, the slide, everything seems to be the same on this between the X5. The X5 is what, 2 inches longer basically on the firearm. This one is cut for the Optic, so you've got your Optic plate already cut on top of the firearm here for you. You would just take this off, and you take this Optic plate off the exact same as you do the X5. You would pull this off, you'd pull out, take the plate off the back, pull your firing pin out, take this your extractor here from the side, pull your extractor out. Here's your spring for your extractor that runs in there. You'd pull that out, then you can access these 2 screws to put an Optic on it. And I'm going to show you a Romeo 1 on here and the issue I had with it. And I got a Burris that'll be here today, and we're going to put that on. So this firearm is clear, no ammo in the area here. I have already went and fired this gun. This gun shoots great. The grip is just perfect to be able to hang on to it. It's got a great grip on it. It's a good carry size firearm, even good competition gun, good home protection gun. You could pretty much use this gun for anything you wanted to, and it's still large enough where you can hang on to it and have a good grip on it to fire. So let's talk about how many rounds go in this. So it comes with 2 15-round magazines. They're really easy to come out. They come out really smooth out of the firearm. So your slide lock here. Your slide lock is exactly like the slide lock on the X5. Sticks out just a little bit further there, so it's identical to that. And it's on this side also. So if you're southpaw, your controls are on the left side of the firearm so that you can control it here. The magazine release can be moved over to the right side of the firearm so that a lefty can operate it, okay? So let's talk about what other magazines will fit this firearm. Now, the Sig P320, I have the original Sig P320. Here's the magazine for it, the first generation, I guess you'd call it. The magazine won't snap in, okay? But the reason it won't snap in is because this base plate right here is a little too thick, a little too tall. We can fix that. So, I took the base plate and I put it on the belt sander, and I just sanded it off right here, right on these edges. Took that right off, and now it drops right in. So your 15-round magazines from your first generation Sig P320, if you sand these edges off, they'll go right in there. You could buy new base plates, I'm sure, to go on it. Not do that if you wanted. Here's a magazine from the first generation of Sig P320. And my Sig P320 that I have, the original one, it is just a little bit longer, not even a 1/4 inch longer on the front here. Grip modules are the same length and all. Of course, different configuration here on it. But this is a magazine from my first Sig P320. Goes right in. I went to Springer Precision and ordered this base plate right here. Very easy to snap on there. And with that new base plate on, it goes in this new X Compact firearm. Now, will the Sig X5 magazines fit? Yes, they will. They fit in there nicely. A little bit of a space right there. Not an issue. Doesn't catch your fingers, doesn't pinch or anything. You can still control and fire the firearm. And this one holds 21 rounds in it. So you can use your X5 magazines in your X Compact if you want to. And they make 17 round magazines. You can get your Sig 17 round magazines, and they slide in here also. Little small gap right here, but you can get a plate, a little plastic piece to fill that in on the firearm. So what else we want to talk about? Has a Picatinny rail on the front of the gun, front cocking serrations on the firearm. I like the texturing on it. If you're familiar with the X series firearms, it's got the same texturing on the firearm, on the rear, the sides, the front. It does have, it has, if you can see right there, so it's got a little texturing there so that if you want to ride your finger along the front here, if that's your grip, then you're able to do that. I prefer to go here on the firearm. And I really like the gun. I like the Sig series that they have. I always enjoy their guns. I like shooting them. They're very, very reliable, very accurate firearms. How does this gun compare to the Sig 365? So this one's clear. So I got the 365 right here. And if you place it up there, you can see that the fronts are level there. You can see the 365 is much shorter. The grip is much shorter also on the firearm. And that's with no magazine in it. Here's your 12 round magazine. When you slide it in, it gets a little closer, but it's still a lot smaller. It is, as you can see here, it is a lot thinner also. And I carry this Sig 365. I've got the laser on the front of it here, the clamshell laser, the activation button down here that turns that on by just tightening up. This gun is very shootable. You can still hang on to it and fire it. Very accurate. I do enjoy shooting this firearm, but compare the magazines together. So this is the 15 round magazine that comes with the X Compact, and look at the 12 round magazine next to it. So the 12 round magazine, the 365 magazine is a good bit smaller than this 15 round magazine. So you're getting 15, one in the pipe for 16 in the X Compact, and you're getting in the 365, you're getting 12 and one in the pipe for 13. So a lot smaller package in this firearm, but a lot of people don't like these small guns. They're a little too small for them. I do not have an issue with it. It shoots well. I like it. I'm very, very comfortable carrying it. But I do like all the Sig products, so I just had to have one of these when they came out with it. So I'll put the burris on here and let you see that. As soon as it comes in, I'll add to it. And I'll get some video of shooting it. Great shooting firearm. Just wonderful. Just like all the other Sig firearms that they have out there. So here's the Sig X Compact with the Romeo 1 mounted on it. As you can see, there's a little small gap right in the front there. This was cut for the Leapold Delta Point Pro optic to go on it. And Sig is making a new Sig Romeo 1 Pro and a Romeo 2 that's supposed to be actually cut for this firearm. But I wanted you to see it on here and see that it will fit. You can put it on there. Issue I'm having is with the screws right here on the top that secure it down. I took this off my X5. The screws that hold it into the X5 are not working on here. The screws, when you put them in, they're just a little bit loose. They wiggle. I used these off another optic that I had. They seem to be a little bit more snug, but I just can't get them to tighten up. I've even used Loctite, let it dry 24 hours, and it's just not securing this optic down and holding it. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this optic. I did want you to see it with the Romeo 1 on and get an idea of what it looked like with the Romeo 1 on the firearm. Now this is something you really need to pay attention to when you're installing your optic and removing the rear sights off this X carry, okay? Or this X Compact. All right, can you see this small piece right here? You see this piece of steel? So you see this part right here on the firearm. So this is some kind of lockup mechanism. It goes from the slide into the barrel here when the slide's moving to lock it up nice and tight. But look at that right there. Can you guys see that? there's a little tiny spring right up underneath here. That spring is as fine as a piece of thread. It is so small and it is so easy to lose. Be very, very careful. It seems to be staying in a position. Nope, you just barely touch it, that thing will move and come out of there. So changing it out, having the slide forward seems to be the way to go to hold that in. But this thing will just lift straight out. So I'm almost nervous to take it back out of here. Let me slide lock it slowly and separate it. So can you see? Let me turn it this way so you can see what I'm doing. You see this little piece right here? This little tiny piece lifts out, and you see the spring still there? That thing is so tiny. If you drop that spring or lose that spring, it is so easy to do. So do be careful with this while you're doing that, okay? Make sure that you keep up with that spring, and I've already knocked it out of where it belongs. So I'm going to be careful before I lose it. But let's see if I can utilize this. There we go. So let's get that spring back where it belongs. And let's put this right back on top of it. Just lay it right in there. Catch it right on the front of that spring. All right. So can you see that? You see how that fits in there? So keep your finger on this up here so it doesn't move. When you're changing out your rear sight or your optic here, you got two little points in the front there. You've got your holes in the rear. So we will take those two little points, slide them in to place, and that just sits right on top. See how that just popped right in there? So now that we've got that on, we can move our finger here and hold this down. Don't let this go, okay? Now, we put our rear sight on. So our rear sight, bottom of your rear sight has some holes in it there. So when you put your rear sight on there, put it in place, you would now utilize these two small holes in the back and drop your screw through there. To tighten it up. And wouldn't you know, this isn't long enough. Just pull it back off of there. Now we're only going to be able to put one side of this in. Okay, so now remember folks, I've only put one screw in. We have to take the rear plate off, and we have to pull out your firing pin, and we have to take the extractor out and the spring for the extractor to get to the screw on this side. But I just wanted you to see how to do that, how to attach that. I'm not going to attach the whole thing back because I've got that on here. But now you can take a look at the firearm without the optic on it. It's a good looking gun. Nice looking gun. Let's do a quick look at the holsters on this X Compact. So this is for my Sig 320, okay, my first generation. It does snap in there. It is fairly tight. I mean, I could heat it up and tighten it up a little bit more. And you can see it's short. So it's coming to about here. It's Kydex. So I could cut this off if I wanted to. And I could go ahead and run this holster to carry this X Compact. Now, with the Delta Point Pro, or even when I had the Romeo on here, it would not fit. But you could cut the front of this off so that it would allow enough room for the Romeo in there. Here's kind of a generic holster that I have, and it actually fits really good in there. It's a little long, comes out a little bit on the bottom here, but it would work to carry this firearm. There again, we have the same problem. If we had the Delta Point or the Romeo on here, it would not fit right there. So I had this in the drawer over there. I started digging through, pulling stuff out. This is a blade tech. This was for the original Sig P320 that I've got. And I don't know the number on it or anything. There's probably some markings back behind here that I can't really see or get to. But this thing fits perfect. It goes right in there. It's the proper length. It fits the trigger guard perfect. It's nice and secure. It is adjustable, so you could tighten it up. I adjusted it to fit this. Look how the front's cut out. So this is also would be IDPA legal because of the height right here. It's within the distance. And my Optic. When I had the Romeo 1 on here, this is the holster that I used. So this one actually fits with the Optic on the firearm. So this one worked out great. I think I paid like $24 for this holster for it. So this blade tech is a great fit for this X Compact. If you're going to shoot a competition or anything with the gun, this may be the way for you to go. Inexpensive, quick. It's already on the shelf and out there for the firearm. But just wanted you to take a quick peek at the holsters for these guns and see how they compare. Hey YouTubers, we made it back from the range. We just got finished up shooting the Sig P320, the X Compact that they made. We've got the Delta Point Pro on it here. Truly enjoyed shooting it. It was a lot of fun. We put about 1,000 rounds through the gun. Sig's done a great job with this firearm. It shoots well. The recoil's great. The recovery's great on the firearm. This Delta Point Pro, great Delta Point Pro. Really big glass, big window. You don't have to have it, but I wear glasses, so it helps me a lot with being able to see. I really enjoyed the gun and shooting the gun. So let's look at some video from the shooting today. Hey everybody, we're here at Pappy's Gun Range in Edgemoor, South Carolina, and we've got the new Sig P320. This is the X Compact that they come out with, and we've got the Leapold Delta Point Pro Optic on the front of it here. And we're going to do some shooting with this thing and have some fun today. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. It's going to be a great day at the range. So if you get a chance to pick one of these up, pick one up. You won't be dissatisfied with it. It's a great pistol, a good all-around gun, home protection, range gun, car gun, carry gun, whatever you choose to do with it, you'll be able to do with this firearm. Remember folks, be safe, be responsible adults, buy gun locks and gun safes and lock your guns up and keep them out of the hands of children. Let's prevent accidents.